Hello, it's Wednesday, June 22nd, 2016, and the topic tonight is God is black and bisexual. You're probably going, what are you talking about? And I will get right into it. First of all, I'm into colors, numbers, breaking down names, all this and what it has to do with sacred texts like the Bible. And there's a lot of information in colors and numbers. And first of all, color is not actually the color that you see it. Like something that's red absorbs all other colors, but gives off that which it doesn't keep. It doesn't keep red, so it gives off red. So the same thing with every other color. Blue absorbs every other color, but lets off blue. So black absorbs everything. It doesn't let anything out. It contains everything. That's why it doesn't reflect any of those colors. And so, in the Christian Bible, it says God is light. So from the darkness, from something that would not let go of anything, it keeps all color, came color out of it. It released color. It's pretty clean cut and clear. In the beginning there was dark, and then light came out of it, which are photons, which are intelligent, which create, which do all kinds of other amazing things. As far as being male and female energy, that's pretty easy to explain. Male energy, when it's polarized, completely male with no female energy, and if it's to the far, let's call it the left, it is a risk to other people. It's a sense of duty. It's get it done at all costs, get out of my way. Prison mentality is the prime example of it. Just get whatever I need to get done at any cost. So you go to the opposite side of the spectrum, the female energy, and female energy with no male energy serves so much it's a risk to itself. So one has a sense of duty, the other one has a sense to serve, and it will, without amount of male energy, the female energy will serve till they're a risk to themselves. Jesus is a perfect example. He served to the point of death, and it's, I ought to just keep on going down that path right there, because what does our world need more than anything? Right now, we're in this left brain, get her done, get out of my way, energy, and Jesus knew that. He knew that we needed that right brain female energy. And the funniest thing too is scientists are actually saying out of Orion's belt, there's this energy that they call quintessence. It's this energy coming down that they've labeled it a female energy, that just happened to be something triggered it to release it. And I thought that was pretty darn interesting. You can look this up. It's really interesting stuff. So out of Orion's belt's coming all this female energy that apparently the world needs so much. And here's something really interesting. We always talk about how the elite they control everything, and they make all the, they're ruining the world. And I've actually looked into Illuminati, Bilderbergers, the Trilateral Commission, Magic, the CIA, FBI. I can't even remember all the different things I've looked into. But the one thing I found is NASA. These guys use a lot of these numbers that I've come across in the Bible and other texts. They understand them to a deep degree. Here's a good example. That quintessence, quin is 5, which is like Pentecost. Pentecost talks about, in the Bible, talks about this well, it doesn't talk about female, but it talks about this energy coming down. And then what do these people do? They become giving, loving, caring, that female right side of the brain. That quintessent energy coming down from Orion's belt is that exact energy. And it just happens to be called the quintessence, just like Pentecost. The elite and those that are polarized real negative, they understand this stuff. I mean, they understand it to a very deep degree. Just like if I have a swastika, that shape, it triggers certain feelings and emotion. Or if I drew a heart, it triggers certain emotion and energy is related with it. They understand that. And so why do you think the Pentagon is shaped like a pentagon, man? They try to draw in that energy so that they can keep control, so that we don't have it. They understand these things to a deep degree. Here's the greatest example is the number 9. The number 9 speaks of human consciousness combined with divine consciousness. It's complete. 9's the highest number you can get. Everything else you got to like add 1 and 2, or you got to make different combinations. 9, even when it's not there, it's there. I'll give you an example. 1 and 8 is 9. 2 and 7 is 9. 3 and 6 is 9. 4 and 5 is 9. So all the other numbers, you know, when they match up and they're complete, they equal 9. There's some 360 degrees in a circle. It equals 9 again. 9's found just over and over and over. Here's a good example. When it talks about the beast in Revelation, I think it's Revelation 13:18, and the number of the beast is 666. If you take 6 times 6 times 6, you get the number 234. Or I'm sorry, 216. And 216 is pretty interesting because that equals 9 again, human consciousness. And then that 432 is said to be the most harmonic frequency to play music at. And just so happens to add up to 9. And then the interesting thing is 432, which is 9, is actually the square root of the speed of light. I mean, what a coincidence that is. If you take the reason I said 432 is because that's 216 doubled. We talked about 6 times 6 times 6. You double it and you get 432, which is absolutely amazing. And it just so happens that the diameter of the moon is 2,160 miles. You get that 216 again. It just so happens that I can't read this other part of my notes here. There's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to make sure that I threw in. It talks about 144,000 in Revelation. Again, you got 1 plus 4 equals 9. Other examples. Let's see. Jesus died in the 9th hour. He'd tell the disciples to cast their net to the right side. The right side's, we use the left side of our brain a lot, which is the male energy side. The right brain is the side that when we fire off and our energy is aligned with spiritually, and we're kind and we just do all those things. Everything is lined up. The one side helps us to get things done and survive. This side over here helps us to interact with each other and connect to the universe. That's why Jesus said, cast your net to the right side to the disciples. He did everything in allegories to teach them things. And when they casted their net to the right side, they got 153 fish. 1 plus 5 plus 3 is 9 again. I mean, it just happens. There's so many examples. Let me see if there's anything else that I was going to, I mean, the minutes in a day, the seconds in a day, they all break down into nines. There's just so many examples, and I can't even remember all. I've forgotten more than I even remember through my digging. It used to just shock me. But here's another example that I just remember. 9 being the ultimate truth. If you take it and you multiply it by anything, it comes back to itself. As that's speaking of God creating us, and it comes back to itself. So you go 9 times 6, 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You can do that over and over. 9 times 3, 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. It's no coincidence. This 9 thing goes really, really far. Let's see, what else was I going to cover? So God is black, and that's what this whole video was. My title was about anyway. And we talk about here's the thing too. everybody knows things are changing. Everybody knows things are getting crazy. We got these elite that doing this real left brain stuff that, let me get back to that. I almost forgot. My whole reason for talking about nines was talking about how the elite understand these things. I mean, you got 33 degrees in the Mason. 3 times 3 is 9. NASA sends everything out on runway 33. 3 times 3 is 9. I mean, there's 33 columns, at the Masons lodges and stuff. If you look at the layout of Washington D.C., it's no mistake. They lined everything up perfect to draw in energy, and they understand. They know that the masses are figuring out these things, and so that's what all this FEMA stuff and they're freaking out about. Everyone's going to rise up, and and massive changes are coming, and they are, but it's a cosmic thing though, because more than anything, Jesus said, when will these things happen? And when is the end of the age? It's usually translated wrong. When's the end of the world? It's when's the end of the age. The end of the age is, he said, when you see the man with the pitcher of water enter into the house is you, and go to the upper room. The upper room is your consciousness. And he said everything would be furnished up there. So it's basically leave everything, all this junk that you got in your head, and enter the upper room. And that is actually the age of Aquarius that we're in right now, where this guy's actually pouring out water. Jesus kept talking about, there's no coincidence that he baptized in water over and over. They taught to baptize in water because the age of Aquarius is pouring out water. That's when that quintessent energy is being poured out on everyone. And people who don't understand what's going on are going to really freak out, because there's going to be a lot of friction between the elite losing their control, the government's changing and all that, and people who are in tune with the universe, in turn with the energy of God, whatever your religion, whatever your spirituality is, the people who are in tune, who are in sync, the universe lets us know through coincidences, through sacred text, through all kinds of ways. And, if you're not in tune with that, or don't know somebody who is in tune, it's going to be really uncomfortable, because things are going to change. And there's no stopping it. Like in Job, I remember he said, people will go, Bob, you talk about, the stars and energy and all this. In Job, it talks about, can you stop the sweet influence of the Pleiades? And it talks about Orion. This isn't something that's, they'll tell you, oh, that's evil stuff, don't meditate. And it just so happens that you have 7 chakras, and they're the 7 colors of the rainbow, and I could just go on and on with that. We got 7 holy days. 7's the number of completion. We got, all kinds of things with 7. And when a person does meditate, they actually have this oil that goes up through their spine, and it comes up into their brain. And that's what, the whole anointing oil on your head and stuff in Christianity is about. It's because when someone, it's not just meditating, it's when someone prays as well. When you pray, or when you're in a spiritual state, that it comes up your spine and things fire off in your head. That's where Santa Claus came from. If your colostrum it fires off, and it brings all these presents, they call it, gifts of the spirit. That's why Santa Claus, Saint Colostrum. There's so many coincidences that you'd be crazy to ignore them. Let's see, what else did I want to cover here? Let's see here. Got that. I don't want to do this too long, because it seems like if I every time I go over 15 minutes or so, I end up getting a call and it messes up the video, and I need to redo it or something. So that's probably pretty much it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and this is episode 3. I'll probably be doing another one within a week or so. Thanks for watching.